Good morning, it's Monday morning again and it's Jenny Kovacs here in my trainer, speaker, coach role, but also for many of you, you might also know me as the Queen of Being Seen because I help people to stand out either in businesses or in organisations so they can do more of what they love and have more clients to find them. So this morning, it's Monday Motivation, and this morning it is the 4th of July, which is a very important day in the States. It's Independence Day. But I thought this morning I would ask you a question that a lot of people not only ask themselves at the start of a journey with a coach, they also ask themselves when they are kind of going through their everyday life. Sometimes they're recalibrating or readjusting, so they want to know kind of what they're doing. Sorry, my camera is shaking, forgive me. I shoot these from my iPhone, which is the only way that Facebook Live will work. So this morning, I'm asking you what I call the Spice Girl question. What do you really, really want? So as you can see, I am sat here speaking to you because this isn't only about motivation for your Monday, this is also about motivation for your week and for some of you, for months to come and years to come. So I'm just going to adjust my angle slightly so you can see me better. That's it, the light's a bit shady in here today. So, quite a few years ago, I remember going through a similar process to the one that I want to introduce to you today. I remember I had all of these, almost like these dreams and these desires of things I wanted to do, and I didn't know how best to get them done. So I remember, as I say, being shown this process, which really, really helped me to nail down and get stuff done. Now I have to say that this question is an important question and it's a valuable motivational question by itself. There are kind of like 5 little steps to the process, but in 10 minutes I don't have time to go through all of them. So if you would like to know more about the other steps as well, please post onto this video and I will make sure that I in some way get some of the other steps to you, even if it's another Monday motivation. The other thing that I will say is if you feel that you need some sort of motivation on a Monday, if you feel that you're quite motivated, thank you very much, you want to make sure that you keep on keeping on throughout the week, or you even feel that you would just like something to really start your week off with a big boost, let me know. Please post again underneath this video, or even share with your friends or other people who might need a boost. So even if that's not you, share with other people that might need a boost. So, the Spice Girl question. Quite often, and I'll give you an example, when I was coaching somebody through a presentation, so they came to me, they wanted speaker training in effect. They wanted to be able to give a presentation. It was an important presentation and it was to do with their work. And I remember they came to me and said, you know what, the thing is, Jenny, every time I speak, I always go red. I always just go really red, and then I lose my words and I fumble, and then I go off into another tangent, and then I don't make sense, and then I go really, really red and get even more red. And it was interesting to me that they felt this happened, they knew it happened, but a lot of their attention went on to the thing that they didn't want. And here's what we do quite naturally as human beings. Quite often, when we want to achieve something, now this thing could be anything like to pack up your home and travel around the world, or it could be to get something done in your business. It could even be I don't know, maybe you've got to clean up the garage or something like that. It could be something that we deem small. So here's the thing, when you do this exercise, there is no size, size doesn't matter here. There is no size in something. If you want to travel around the world, this exercise is just as effective for you if that's what you want to do as to if you just need to clean the garage out, if you need to get a proposal done at work, if there's somebody that's asking you to give them some information and you've been putting it off and putting it off, you can use this for virtually anything. Okay, so The first thing to do is, if you find yourself, in fact, I'm going to ask you a question. What things do you want to do? What things do you want to achieve? So what I'd invite you to do is just start off by just getting a piece of paper and writing down, you know, like numbering them. What are the things that you want to achieve? So that's the first thing. So break them down so they're all in individual pieces. What do you want to achieve? If you want to tidy out the garage, travel around the world, make sure that you get a certain proposal done to send back to someone. Hi, for those of you that are joining, you might want to make sure that you have some time off to yourself. You might want to, as I once did, believe it or not, I was like, okay, I want to have a spa day every month this year. I think that was in 2013. Anyway, I decided that that's what I wanted to do. It could be anything. First world or third, you know, first world problem, I know, but it could be absolutely anything. So the first thing that I'd recommend you do is to write down each thing that you want to do, just so that you have a visual memory of what those things are. So you don't have to write it in full necessarily. Just write down each thing that you want to do, and then go through this exercise and do it one by one. Okay? Don't try and go through this exercise incorporating all the things that you want to get done. It becomes confusing, it becomes overwhelming. Word to the wise, your brain will tell you, oh, but I haven't got time to do all of these individually, and that is not true. Okay, so you can pick different times to do these things, different times to work through each of them. You could even be answering this question as you're driving or sat in traffic or waiting to pick somebody up or waiting to go into a meeting or, you know, taking a coffee break, or standing in the sun and letting the sun shine on your face. So this is all very, very quick process. It doesn't take hours, it takes minutes. So once you've written down all the things that you want, and especially if you've written down a list of things you want, there's always one that I call the leverage piece. There's one that, if you could do that, would make the biggest difference to everything else. And here's another word to the wise. I don't want you to look and rate it in terms of importance or big or small. So if you've written down 5 things, but for some reason tidying up the garage is the thing that keeps springing to the top of your mind, that will be what I call the leverage piece. That will be the piece to pay attention to, because for some unknown reason, tidying out the garage will be the piece that will make the biggest difference if you can get that done. Make sense? I hope so. So once you've gone through step 1, writing down all the things that you want to achieve, step 2, if you've written down a list of things, just picking that one thing that's going to make the biggest difference, okay? Then the next step is to ask yourself, do I want this thing? Do I really, really want this thing? Now, the human psyche is a very interesting thing, because deep down, it's almost like in your gut, you'll get a sensation. Most often, when we go for something that we really, really want, there's a feeling almost of excitement and nerves. Now, most ordinary people, and I know that you are more than ordinary, you're extraordinary, most ordinary people will feel a little bit of fear and let that stop them. They don't realise it's what they're doing, it's just something that they feel. It feels unfamiliar, it feels frightening, and it will stop them. So you know the expression about getting out of your comfort zone? Well, this is one of those times. So most people will allow that to stop them. So I'm just making sure that I'm not going to run over time, and making sure that I cover everything that I wanted to cover with you. So when you feel that feeling that feels a little bit like that, just notice, it's usually a feeling in your stomach, just notice whereabouts it moves to. So it could kind of move a little bit higher and then all of a sudden become like a feeling of anticipation, a feeling of excitement. Now, there's a reason that that feeling kicks into place. You know, as bodies, as human beings on the planet, we have, you know, a deeply innate fight or flight kind of, you know, tapped button, if you like, that's deep within us. And quite often we might feel a little bit of fear, a little bit of anticipation. Often all that is not to tell us not to do something, it's to show us where we need to pay attention to a concern that we have. So if you're going through this process and you feel absolutely like floored, absolutely frightened, then ask yourself a supplementary question. You know, what's this about? What's this about really? And just notice the first thing that pops up. Again, it could be really random to you, but it's normally significant. Okay, so ask yourself that question, see what pops up. So the next thing that you will want to do is you will want to answer a concern, if it's a concern. If it's a feeling of excitement and a little bit of anticipation, then pop it up and you're good to go. Now here's the thing, whatever that excited feeling is about, the next thing that you'll want to do is to make a note of it somewhere. Hi for those of you that are joining, good to see you here. And make sure that that feeling of excitement is something that you write down, because that will be, imagine being in a really, really black and dark room and you've got this torchlight strapped to your head. That thing that gets you excited, that thing that makes you think, even if for a split second, oh my gosh, the possibilities here are endless, you know, the lives that I could affect by doing this, the peace that I can feel by clearing this thing up, the relief I will feel by going back and having the conversation, whatever that thing is, write that down, because when or if times get tough, which they sometimes will, otherwise you wouldn't have felt a bit funky about it in the first place, you'd have felt completely excited, then you can look back to that piece that really lights you up. As I say, there are kind of 5 steps around this process. So the Spice Girl question, as I call it, like what do you really, really want, is probably too early in the morning for me to start singing the Spice Girls, so I won't. But the Spice Girl question, the what do you really, really want, is an easy question to ask, but sometimes a difficult question to answer. So I just want to say that if you are having difficulty answering this question for yourself, it's likely that you spent a huge chunk of your life or part of your life or part of your day or week or month looking after other people, looking after other people before yourself. Okay, it may be that you're looking after the kids, the family, maybe that you're you know, that your other half or your partner, your life partner, has a significant role to play and you have been in the background of that role. The thing that I would invite you to do, as well as asking that question, what do you really want, I'd invite you to ask yourself the question too of, you know, if you are kind of waiting in the wings behind somebody else, whether it's family, friends, partner, work colleagues, you know, or anybody else, other businesses, if you're a business owner, I would, number one, encourage you that it's your time to shine. That's part of my role as a visibility specialist, to help you shine in the way you need to shine. But I'll also encourage you to notice your reason why you can't do something, or you feel that you can't do something, and turn it into a reason why you can. If you're thinking, well, you know, I have to do everything for my children and I will wait until they're 18 and, you know, they leave home and go to university or something like that. Perhaps another way, another angle to look at that is, why don't you show an example of your children to a life that can be lived despite looking after them, in spite of, you know, taking them to school and wanting the best for them, in spite of making sure that they get everything that they need in life, in spite of the person in your life, you know, being able to live their career. Why not flip that question in that way? Anyway, I've gone a bit over 10 minutes. Thank you for joining me, and I really, really look forward to seeing you next Monday. Bye for now.